Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worldly One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dhamma friends, today we're going to look at one of the sutta from Numerical Discourses, Book of 11, the Peacock Sanctuary. Sutta name is Moranivāpa Sutta. In the world, when we learn about Buddhism, when we observe the precepts, what we call every time, that these precepts may be helpful for the happiness in this life, rebirth in heaven, and to realize the Four Noble Truths. So the one part, the sila, is serving for all three things. For what? For the happiness, what we want in this life. Then it is helping us to, after that, we can go to the better place, the heavenly worlds, based on the sila. Then, based on sila, that we can achieve the enlightenment also. So we go beyond these worldly things. So the Supreme Buddha mentioning about that when the people listen about these things, when we hear about that thing, okay, the heavenly world is there. And in the beautiful way in Buddhism, the heavenly world has been explained. No other, any places, not in any religion has been explained the beauty of heavenly beings. So automatically it happens, like when you go to the museum or aquarium or any some different place, when you see the beauty of other animals, what kind of things comes to the young kids' mind, or for the older people also? Oh, it's a beautiful life. I want to live like that. Like especially when the kids go to the aquarium, they see the beautiful small fish, and they think, oh, how beautiful their life is. I also want to become like that. When there are some people when they have the trouble, when they see the birds, how they think, oh, this bird doesn't have any boundaries. They can fly anywhere, wherever they want. It will be good. It will be nice if I born in this way, so I can have this freedom. So when in Buddhism, when people hear about heavenly worlds, they develop desire for that too, And most of the time, this happens once they develop desire. So going beyond that, practicing beyond that Dhamma doesn't become much important for them. Similar like this, when the Supreme Buddha taught the Dhamma to the one of the monk, and by listening his Dhamma talk and practicing what the Buddha explained, this monk attained the stage of non-returnship, anagami state. And then he thought, okay, I have done the most of the work, then rest of it I will do beyond, means in the heavenly world or the Brahma world, I will cover it that. But Supreme Buddha encouraged him for what? To see that there is also suffering. So finishing it is most important thing. So even when we are practicing Dhamma, listening about heavenly worlds, having that thought, but our main focus, the most important thing is for us to think about enlightenment, to finish all the suffering, because smallest suffering is also the suffering what Supreme Buddha mentions, So how someone can become enlightened, what kind of things they need to complete this path, how beautiful the enlightened being's life is. It has been mentioned in this small sutta. We're going to learn about it. This sutta is beginning this way. Ekam samayang bhagava rajagahe viharati. On one occasion, the Supreme Buddha was dwelling at Rajagaha. So, day before yesterday, I was there. It's beautiful. Yeah, beautiful place to visit. I think so. Some of you have been visited to the India. I encourage everyone once in a life or couple of times in your life, you must visit these sacred places, pilgrimage, and then you will see the beauty of all the places are ruined, but still the vibe of the Buddha is still there. So go visit. So the Supreme Buddha was living at Rajagaha, Moranivāpa, Paribhajakarame. So where the ascetics was there, in that wanderers park, where the peacocks all used to stay or live. So the Buddha was also dwelling at that time. On that occasion, Bhikkhavoti, when the Supreme Buddha asked monks, bhikkhus, and they replied him as a Badanti. And Bhikkhu explained to him, then what said Buddha? Tihi bhikkhave dhammehi samannagato bhikkhu. Supreme Buddha mentioned these three things if someone has in their life or someone possesses these three things. That person, that monk, achanta nitto hoti, he attained at the stage who has reached the ultimate conclusion or the strongest stability in the world. There is no wavering, there is no shaking. That person has come to the proper place, then he has stopped from all the journeys. So, achanta nitto, he has stopped there, he stayed there. Hoti, achanta yoga kemi. So, he has reached the place where there is no suffering. He has overcome all the tides in this world. He has gone beyond that. Achanta Brahmachari. So Achanta Brahmachari, he has completed his holy life completely. Achanta Brahmachari, Achanta Pariyosano, Settho Deva Manusana. Buddha mentioned that he has reached to the destination where nothing remains beyond. He has completed the entire path. Pariyosana means finishing, ending of this path. So that monk can be called the best among devas and humans. Such a person becomes the best of all the gods and humans. So among them, in the Ratana Sutta, so the Buddha mentioned about one every jewel, and then mentioned whatever the precious things in this human world or heavenly world. Compared to the Buddha, there is nothing something like that. Buddha is that much precious. So in the same way, Supreme Buddha is mentioning if someone possesses these three things, that person has reached to he has come to the one stable state of life, that he has completed the holy path, that he has finished all the tides in this world, all the bondages he has destroyed. He has come to the ultimate sanctuary. He has concluded everything in this world, what to be done. Such a person is called the best among humans and gods. So, what these three qualities, what these three positions, or what these three things this person should possess. So, what three Supreme Buddha mentioned? He said, Asekena sila kandena. Asekena means there is nothing to learn beyond. Means the learning stage, like you and me, are in this Dhamma as a learning stage. So we will call ourselves as a Sekha. So we'll still studying the Dhamma. That's all. We are Sekha. Asekena, that who has completed their education, completed their path, fulfill their complete this part, those person will call aseka. Asek means there is nothing to learn after this. So usually we call, in a common word, that our entire life we learn something. Even means this world has teaches a lot of things. There is no ending of studying it. Even in old age also we learn something. But what the Buddha is mentioning, even the human world, there's this stop there you can say that I have completed studying everything. Such a thing is one asekena, sila kandena. Sila kanda means the sila, the virtuous behavior, you know. So whatever the sila is mentioned, those are all as completed. There is nothing remains to practice anymore. Like when we observe the sila, what happened? Usually we observe and then we practice up to our best to protect it. But then what happened? Some of the time we slip from that and the precept is broken. Then again we purify ourselves and then we again observe that precept. And we do that continuously. But this breaking precept happens all the time. The reason is what caused this breaking precept is not stopped yet. Our desire, our hatred, our delusion, those are the cause for slipping from the precepts. Those becomes part, and because of that, we are unable to keep our virtue, keep our practices continuously. Supreme Buddha mentioned asekena sila kandena, whose path has been completed, who has completed their virtuous things. Like in Digha Nikaya, Supreme Buddha mentioned all the silas, the Chula sila, Majjhima sila, and Mahasila. The virtuous in the small amount of, the medium and middle and the higher virtue also. The person who has completed these all three stages, such a person can call asekena sila kandena. This person has not anything to learn in sila. His sila is completely practiced, completely done of this. Asekena samadhi kandena. Samadhi, like we are struggling, means me, you, we are both struggling to have that mindfulness, concentration, the stage of jhana, first, second, third, and fourth. So even how much of struggle, it is very difficult for us to gain that mindfulness, gain that concentration, the samadhi. But for here, Supreme Buddha mentioned asekena samadhi kandena, who has completed this samadhi stage. Like, what is the most obstacle when we practice meditation? That our mind goes wander, always wandering different places. Once you are trying to practice for the loving kindness, our mind goes somewhere else. It shows some different things. Some when we are practicing breathing meditation, what happens? We see some different places, we remember some different people. When we practice something else, then Buddhanusati, we think of some different events and all these things. What happens? Our mind does not give chance to be concentrated. But for the person who has overcome all the defilements, for that person, mind does not play any tricks. Mind does not take him anywhere. So the concentration comes automatically. But so there is nothing to learn in the samadhi also. There is nothing anymore. So he has to learn from it. That samadhi is completely done. What is the main purpose of samadhi? What is the samadhi do in this world? Supreme Buddha mentioned the samadhi is for liberation. Samadhi, we want to practice the samadhi. The ultimate goal of samadhi is liberation. So asekena samadhi, it means that person has liberated by the samadhi and there is nothing anymore to do. See, in the But the Milinda king asked from the Supreme Buddha that under the Bodhi tree, the Supreme Buddha has attained the enlightenment by concentrating his mind. But even though after the Supreme Buddha mentioned that from time to time he want to do the meditations, so is he doing meditation to gain something else? Is there something remain to achieve? Nagsenvante replies, no. He has attained the enlightenment under the Bodhi tree while practicing meditation, but now he just simply wants to enjoy that meditation. That's all. Not more than that. There is nothing to learn from. There is nothing to gain from the meditation. There is nothing to gain from the concentrated mind. That is called asekena samadhi kandena. There is nothing to gain from the samadhi. Because for samadhi, for us, it's a marvelous thing to have. The most pleasurable thing we can get in our life. But for the enlightened being, it is just a simple stage. Because there is no obstacles for that person. And that is the beauty of enlightened beings. That those enlightened beings we are following to. When we observe the Sila, we say that time. Then imitating great arahants, we are following these precepts. Why? To have this same effort, have the same food that what the enlightened beings had attained. Like asekena sila kandena, asekena samadhi kandena. Then asekena panya kandena. Panya, it means wisdom. There is nothing to learn with the wisdom, all the wisdoms they have already gone. Nothing is there to study from. Nothing is there to look forward. Everything is done. That's why for the enlightened one says, Kata Karninya. So the person who has done everything, Ohita Bharu, he has removed all the burden from his head. He's let all the burden go. For that person is called Panya Kande. Asekena Panya Kande. His wisdom is completed. That we have to be mindful of. So, Supreme Buddha mentioned, when the person has these three things, which one? Asekena sila khandena. If someone's virtuous behavior is completed, asekena samadhi khandena. Someone's meditation or the mindfulness has been completed, the concentration is completed, there is nothing anymore to study or learn. Asekena panya khandena. Someone's wisdom has been completed, there is nothing to gain. What is the most important thing of the wisdom? Wisdom, what it does, it shows reality. It shows truth to us. Whatever we call the knowledge, what the knowledge is, what we see in this world, even when we study, what we learn, what is happening in this current position, what is happening in this world. Even mathematics shows that how this equation is solved. Science explains how the experiments can be done. So those are all part of learning something. But highest learning is what? The realization of ourselves. That we are part of the samsara. Because of this, that we born in this world, because of these defilements, we are still traveling in this birth and death of samsara continuously. So realization, the most important knowledge is that being aware, being mindful of where we are. So, Four Noble Truths. Realization of Four Noble Truths, that is the main purpose of wisdom. Main purpose of wisdom. Then, this purpose, what it does, it gives us chance to walk on the path of enlightenment. And once you have completed the path of Noble Eightfold Path, then the purpose of wisdom has been completed. There is nothing, anything to study for. There is anything to learn beyond. That is called Panya Kandena. So Buddha mentioned, if these three things is completed in anyone's life, such a person becomes Achinda Nitto, he becomes stable, the ultimate stability in his life. Achanta Yoga Kemi, he has come to that destination where nothing can bother him, there is no suffering. The sanctuary is there. Achanta Brahmachari, the ultimate holy life, this person has completed. All the purpose of Brahmacharya has been done. Achanta Pariyosana, that he has completed whatever he has to do in this world. Setto Deva Manusana, so he is the greatest being in all the gods and humans. So he has reached to that destination. See the simple thing? When one of the time, Sariputta Bhante, he went back to his home after taking permission from Supreme Buddha to take the Parinibbana. And what he did? He went to his home to teach his mother, So first day he went to home. When he stayed there, he asked his mother, how are you doing and everything? And he tried to teach her, but she was not interested in Dhamma because she thinks that Supreme Buddha is someone who destroys the families. Isn't it a supreme beautiful thing to see? She was thinking that because she has three sons and two daughters, and all of them left home and they become the monks and attain enlightenment. Every one of them. He doesn't have the father. So the mother was alone. So she was very frightened, about Buddha. He's do something magical spells, and then he can change your whole life. So she was not interested to listen. But when the Sariputta, because her son who is Sariputta Bhante, she cannot throw it out. So she asked, stay here. And then he stayed. In the first night, all the four directional gods, they come to worship him, to learn the Dhamma from him. So the marvelous light was in his room. And mother thought, what's happening? How this light is coming from? So next morning, she asked from the Sariputta Bhante, what happened? And the Sariputta Bhante mentioned, there were four directional gods come to visit me to ask the query of Dhamma. Then she thought, okay, my son is doing something like this. Okay, but whom I worship is more greater than him. She was worshipping the Brahma, so he's greater than. The Brahma is greater than anyone else. He has the power to create the worlds. Second day, the god Sakka came, the god of the all human and deity world, of two deity worlds. So she thought, okay, God Sakka, it's okay, he's one good deity, but he's not that much powerful as whom I worship, as a Brahma. The third day, the Brahma also came. And then she opened her eyes. Oh, whom I worship, such a heavenly being comes to worship my son? And what is that? Why they come to visit him, why they worship him? She understands the importance because he has reached the state which is called Setto Deva Manusana. He is the greatest being in all gods and humans. So it is common that the gods will come and worship him. These three things he has acquired in his life. For Sariputta Bhante, he is the greatest in the foremost in the wisdom of wise monks, So Panya Kandena is also done. Concentration he had. Sila is completed. That thing. And automatically then mother thought, okay, my son is someone great. Let me ask what he teaches. And then Sariputta Bhante revealed the Dhamma. Instantly, his mother also becomes Sotapan. Beautifully. Means she was holding grudge for a long, long time. 5 kids, when they grow up, when they left the home, Even daughters also, without marrying, they become nuns. For in that time of period, when the daughters were something like the precious things to, to give them to someone as being married, they also left home to become a monk. So the grudge what she had hold toward Buddha immediately break from that spell. As soon as Sariputta revealed the Dhamma, all the things, all the shackles what she had were broken on that moment. Immediately she realized, now that is the beauty of Dhamma to see. Now Sariputta Bhante is our mother also may go into the upper worlds and may be enlightened. So learning that what Supreme Buddha mentioned. So such a thing make the person Setto Deva Manusana. Then Supreme Buddha mentioned Aparehi Bhikkhave, another, because possessing another three qualities. So Supreme Buddha mentioned those three qualities, okay. This next three qualities also, if someone possesses, they also comes to the ultimate state of stability, ultimate state of sanctuary, ultimate state of spiritual life, and the ending of all suffering. They becomes the Settodeva Manusana, they become the greatest in the order, gods and humans. And what are these three things? Supreme Buddha mentioned next. Iddhi Patihariyena. Iddhi Pratihari, it means shown psychic powers. That we talked about last when we were discussing about the four spiritual powers. So in the same way, the Iddhi Pratihari is one of the things. It's not the common thing to show. So Iddhi Pratihari, it means showing psychic powers, but not just psychic powers for anything, but to showing powers to reveal the Dhamma, to give the understanding someone that this Dhamma is in this way. Like showing Iddhi Pratihari, it means, the Nanda, one of the Supreme Buddha's cousin. So when her husband became a monk, she was looking toward that Buddha has a thought about, he was against of beauty. And she was Janapada Kalyani, she was beautiful. So after some of the thought, she became a nun, but she does not want to see the foulness in the body. So when she visited Supreme Buddha saw that she can realize the Dhamma. And what he did? When she comes, Supreme Buddha was sitting there, and someone most beautiful person was doing a fan to the Supreme Buddha, in next to him. And she was looking at, she was mesmerized by seeing that view, that Buddha was against of beauty, but this beautiful person is serving Supreme Buddha, fanning to him. So looking toward the Supreme Buddha, she was looking at her. And then once the Buddha saw that, okay, she has captured the eye of her, then automatically Supreme Buddha slowly transformed that person. What happens? Slowly that person grew old, and slowly that decayed, after all the rashes and then holding the cane, slowly the entire life of human person shown in the split of second. And then she realized, what the beauty I am holding, it's temporary. There is no permanent thing. For the now, time being, it's look good, but with the age, it will transform. What I am holding precious will not be there. So by showing that simple trick, showing that simple thing, Supreme Buddha was able to transform this Nanda's heart, taught her Dhamma, that everything is impermanent. That is called Iddhi Pratihari. This psychic power is to give the chance to realization of Dhamma. For some of the monks also, they have shown the same thing, the psychic powers. For what? To teach the Dhamma. That called Iddhi Pratihari. Not something like that. I mean, psychic power is a common thing, but in the Pratyahara, in a way, it's not like the Devdatta did. What the Devdatta did, he also had a psychic powers, but he utilized this psychic power for what? To gain the good name or gain the favor of king. It's not the true purpose for psychic powers. True purpose of psychic power to give someone Dhamma. That one is important. Then Adesana Patiharya. Looking at someone's mind, seeing that what they need to realize, teaching the Dhamma according that is called Adesana Patiharya. Being able to understand someone's heart and teaching according to that. That is Adesana Patiharya. Then Anusasani Patiharya means showing about virtuous behavior, what is good for person, what is bad for person. Making choice, showing the heavenly world, showing the hell world. So the person will always choose something good. So, such a way, teaching the Dhamma, utilizing in these different things, like Iddhi Pratiharya, Desana Patiharya, Anusasani Patiharya, utilizing these three things for teaching the Dhamma. So, someone possesses this quality, someone who has these three qualities of teaching the Dhamma, that person is said to Deva Manusana. That person is the greatest one of gods and humans. That thing Supreme Buddha teach them of, so that someone can gain these all three kinds of powers. The power of showing the psychic powers, the power of advising someone according to their mind, the power of teaching Dhamma, what is necessary and needed for them. Then Supreme Buddha means Aparehi Bhikkhave. Again, there are Tihi Dhamme Samannagato. If someone possesses these three qualities, Bhikkhu Achintanitto, that he has come to the stability, ultimate stability. Achanta Yoga Kemi, that he has reached to the place there is no suffering, the sanctuary for that ultimate sanctuary. Achanta Brahmachari, that he has complete ultimate holy life, the spiritual life has been done. Achanta Pariyosano, concluded everything, nothing remains in his life. They are said to Deva Manusana. So he is the greatest of all gods and humans. Katamehiti, Supreme Buddha mentioned, Samma Ditthiya. Samma Ditthiya, it means who has achieved, who has gained Samma Ditthi. What is the Samma Ditthi then? Upon knowledge of Four Noble Truths. That's Samma Ditthi. Someone has completed, someone possesses the quality of Samma Ditthi. That person is the greatest of gods and humans. So we have to learn, we have to study what the Samma Ditthi is, and we should strive for possessing this quality. Samma Ditthi. Because Samma Ditthi has the power to show us what is good and bad for us, what is right and wrong, what we should do, what we should not do. This all changes, these all things is shown by Samma Ditthi. But now, for so many times, even what is wrong for us, because of our habits, because of this world demands, we should use the wrong things. We walk on the wrong path. Even we know that this will end in the suffering, still we do those things. Why? Because we do not possess the Samma Ditthi yet. After possessing Samma Ditthi, there is nothing. We always walk on the right path. Even by mistake, if something happens, the wrong thing happens, we cannot hide it. That is the quality. In the Ratana Sutta, it is mentioned there. Kinchapiso kammam karoti papakam kayena vacha udachetasa abhabho sotasa patichadaya abhabhatadita padasa utta idam pisanghe ratanam panitta etena satchena suvanti hontu. Who the person, even he do without mistakenly, without knowingly, something wrong by his physical form, verbally or mentally, this person who has attained to Dhamma cannot hide those things. He becomes unable to hide, automatically reveals, he corrects himself. And that is the great quality of Sangha that we learned. So, Samma Ditti is the thing that makes this person worthy of this. That makes. So, Supreme Buddha mentioned, if someone possesses this quality, the quality of Samma Ditti, Samma Jnanena, Samma Jnana means knowledge, wisdom, Samma Jnanena, Jnana, knowledge of this world, knowledge of what is truth, knowledge of what is correct, knowledge of impermanent, anitya, dukh, anatma, knowledge of that. If someone possesses, that person can call Samma Jnana. Jnana of understanding that these defilements has been conquered, destroyed. I am liberated now. Samma Jnana. It is that. Samma Vimukti. The liberation. Samma Vimukti, the greatest liberation that can be seen. Nothing is there. Completely freed from. Like someone has a date there. So when they are freed from that date, what will happen? They are free. They don't have to pay anything else anymore. So that happiness is there. I have repaid the money. Nothing is there. In the same way, that happiness. But in the world, when someone has attained the enlightenment, the vimukti, there is no birth for me anymore. There is no suffering for me anymore. I am completely liberated now. That Samma Vimukti. So someone has these three qualities. What three? Samma Ditti, Samma Jnana, and Samma Vimukti. Such a person is called Setto Deva Manusana. Setto, the person is best among the devas and humans. These things Supreme Buddha mentioned. Then, at last, Supreme Buddha mentioned, Vihibhikkhave dhamme samannagato bhikkhu achanda nitto hoti. Then, first time Supreme Buddha mentioned the three things. Second time he said three things. Next time he said three things. And now he's mentioning two things. What are those? Supreme Buddha mentioned, Katamihi dvi vijjaya charanena. Vidya, and charana. Vidya, charana, sampanna, that we the quality of Supreme Buddha. So the Buddha mentioned here, Vidya, charana. So if any monk possesses this quality, he is Setto Deva Manusana. He is the best among gods and humans. So what is the Vidya? The knowledge. Charana, living according to it. It's not like us that we know something else and we do something else. We say something else, we behave something else. It's not like that. The knowledge, according to our knowledge, behavior. In society, you will see that they mention about these different things, but in practically, they don't do anything of that. They just pretend, they just show off to the poor people. Oh, these things is great thing to see and do. But in reality, they don't have anything of it. But Vidya Charana, it means whatever the knowledge they have, living according to it. Their complete life is according to their wisdom. And that is in the Lokavabodha Sutta, Supreme Buddha mentioned there. The Supreme Buddha is called Tathagata. Because of this quality he possesses, whatever he say, he behave in that way. Whatever he act, he says according to it. Because of that, he is Tathagata. Since his enlightenment up to his passing away, in between that time, whatever he has realized, said, mentioned, taught, everything happens according to it. Nothing changes. Because of that, he is Tathagata. All the things from the enlightenment, whatever the Buddha has, he behaved in the same way. Like for the monks, he had made precepts. He asked monks to behave as according to precepts. And the Supreme Buddha was also one of them to follow those things. He did not make those precepts for just to anyone else. He was behaving according to them. For the Buddha, he does not need it. But he created this rule, so he has to be. Did not escape him, did not give exception for him. That thing is called Vijja Charana Sampanna. That is the thing person can call the Vijja Charana Sampanna. So in this Dhamma, this thing, the Vijja Charana Sampanna, it's important. So Supreme Buddha mentioned, if someone have a Vijja, someone has a knowledge and act according to it, this knowledge, that person we can call Achanta Nitto, who has come to ultimate stability, who has come to that strong place that nothing can change anymore later. Achanta Yoga Keni. So all the most sanctuous place he has achieved. Achanta Brahmachari, he has fulfilled the ultimate liberation, fulfilled the ultimate holy life. He has come to the conclusion. He has finished all the sufferings and everything. He is the best among all gods and humans by possessing these qualities, Vijja and Charana. So, after this entire Dhamma talk, then there was a Brahmana Pesa Kavisaran Kumar Gatha Vasita. So, the one of the Brahma, Sanan Kumara, he was listening maybe that Dhamma talk. So he said this thing to the Supreme Buddha, said, Khattiyo Setto Janetasmi. The warrior claimed that Khattiya is best among all human beings. Ye Gotta Patisarino, who distinguish people according to their birth race. Means makes difference about, okay, as a casteism, okay, the Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. So who distinguish people according to them, the Khattiya is the greatest of all. Vijja Charana Sampanno, so Setto Deva Manuseti. But who has the Vijja and Charan, the knowledge and behavior according to it, that person is the greatest of all gods and humans. Does not need any race, does not need any proper place. Means that person, this Vijjacharana Sampanna person can be come from any clan. It does not need to be a Khattiya, does not need to be from the warrior clan, does not need to be a Brahmin. Because that discrimination has already finished as soon as he reached to the Vijjacharana Sampanna state. There is a beautiful sutta called Bharada Sutta. In the Bharada Sutta, Buddha mentioned how the Sangha is like an ocean. I mean, all the different rivers come from different regions with the different names. And once they meet to the ocean, they become one taste, one name. This is called the ocean. That's all. It does not distinguish the name, or this water is from the Ganges, this water from this Sindhu river, this from Nile, this from Amazon river. Nothing is like that. Everyone becomes with the one name, one taste. That is called. In the Sangha also, the monks can come from different things. Like you and me. See, you are in the different region. Means in here, then we can see the different race. Some of you may be Indian, some of you are Canadian, some of us from Indonesia, from the different people, but we are all here as a what? Upasaka, Upasika. So the daughters and sons and daughters of Supreme Buddha, devotees of Dhamma, that is the one thing. Whenever you say, you will not say, I am Canadian Buddhist, I am Indian Buddhist. No, you will say, I am Buddhist. That is a simple thing. And if you behave according to that, what the Buddha has explained to it, it means that you are fulfilling your duties as this proper duty. And automatically, that will take us toward this stage where the person can call Sekto Deva Manusana. And this person, there is a beautiful example of Nandamata. Nandamata, she wasn't enlightened yet, but still, the Vesavano Devaraja, he comes and talks with her and says, sister, my older sister, Bhaginista Bhata, I am your younger brother. He says in that way. The relationship, even the gods also worship in that way. But who has become enlightened, for them, nothing is there. There is no relation as sister and or brother. There is only as master, only as enlightened being. So the Supreme Buddha has said. When Supreme Buddha hears these verses from the Sanat Kumara Brahmaraja, he saw nothing is wrong in that. The Gatha Bhasita Subhasita, it is said beautifully. No Durbhasita, there is nothing wrong in that. Atta Samhita, there is a meaning in this Gatha. No Anatta Samhita, there is nothing wrong. There is no wrong meaning from it. Anumata Maya. So Buddha gave the permission of that. He expressed it's okay to say, Ahampi Bhikkaveyam Vadami. That means I am also saying the same thing. What? Khattiyo Setto Janetasmin Ye Gutta Patisarino Vijjacharana Sampanno. So Setto Deva Manusiti. That according in the English it says the Khattiya is the best among people for those whose standard is the clan. But one accomplished in true knowledge and conduct is best among devas and humans. So we should have spent our life to achieve these beautiful 11 stages in our life. So we should try to practice to complete our sila. We should try to practice to complete our concentration. We should try to practice to complete our wisdom. And one by one, we will reach the destination what the Buddha mentioned. So in this sutta, Buddha mentioned the beautiful qualities of Sangha, beautiful qualities of what the monks possess. And those were all qualities were developed in this human world. So you and me may have this chance to looking at these beautiful monks. You and me may have chance to, with the help of our noble teacher, we can possess this quality and we may realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Anything you want to ask, we can discuss it now.
Very hard to achieve.
No, it's okay. We slowly, when we practice, then we can have that stage. It will take longer time for us to gain that. But looking at these beautiful persons, looking at these beautiful qualities, what they possess, our confidence toward this Dhamma should be increased. And that's why Supreme Buddha mentioned this sutta to us. It is in a kind of way today we did the Sanghanusati. Looking at this marvelous quality the Sangha possesses, developing that desire, okay, I don't just want to be born in heavenly world, but I want to reach the state, this enlightened being's world. So that is the Sanghanusati that we have practiced today. So read this sutta again a couple of times. It's beautiful to have. Investigate a little bit. Why this monk, why this enlightened being? Means make the comparison between the common person and the practitioner of the Dhamma. What is the difference in? And comparison of who's practicing Dhamma and who fulfill the Dhamma. what is the difference in between. So you may see the beauty of Dhamma. So think of study of that.